Hey Chris, how you doing today?
Pretty good, Steve. How are you?
I'm great.
Cool. I see this new OS 91 engine here. It's looks just like one I've got, except it looks like it has a regulator.
It does. This is the new 91HZ-R from OS, the R being the new regulator system. This is an on-demand regulator system, much different than the existing regulators that are out there. Let me show you this conversion kit we have here. So you can actually take your existing 91, and with the conversion kit you get a new backplate, a check valve, and then a new carburetor and the regulator system. So you can convert your engine very inexpensively to the HZ-R.
Awesome, the latest in performance, and I don't have to buy a whole new engine.
Exactly. And one thing you'll notice if you look inside of this carburetor here, you'll see this huge hole in the spray bar, and that's probably twice as large as your existing carburetor has. Then the regulator itself is, again, what we call an on-demand regulator. And if I pop the cover off of this, you can see first the little silicon diaphragm here that pulses up and down, and it opens and closes, or it moves by this check valve going up and down that's inside of there. We'll move that out of the way. There you can see that the check valve, it's basically a needle and seat, and it's got a little dot of silicone or silicon bead in there. Now, what the regulator does is keeps this little pool full of fuel. So it's quite a bit different than an existing regulator system. It takes from the back plate, you run a fuel line to your fuel tank through the check valve. That way the pulses only go in one direction. It pressurizes that fuel tank from about 3 to 5 psi. And then that, of course, forces the fuel up to the regulator. Now again, this regulator is not squirting fuel into the carburetor, okay? It's keeping that little pool of fuel full, or pool inside the regulator full, so that no matter what position this engine's in, it always has a very consistent flow of fuel to the carburetor. And no, you don't need any header tanks or anything like that. Engine's going to run exactly the same from basically a full fuel tank to an empty fuel tank.
That's awesome. I'm always looking for good, powerful, consistent runs. This looks like a much easier way to do it than running a header tank and taking my chances.
Oh, absolutely. This is the engine, especially for the 3D guys that are out there beating it up.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve.
You bet.